I'm Julie Gaudan, Executive Director of the Phoenixville Area Senior Center. I'd like to thank the 100 women of Phoenixville for giving me this platform to welcome you to the Phoenixville Senior Center and tell you about our contributions to the community.
Let me share a story. Mr. and Mrs. G were very active in their retirement. 5 years ago, you'd find them playing pinochle or at the bowling alley. They regularly competed in the We Two bowling tournaments at the Senior Center. Then Mr. G started having memory issues. Mrs. G went from being his partner to his caregiver and de facto parent. Coming to the center where others would engage Mr. G for a couple of hours a week became her lifeline. When she broke her hip and he joined her at the rehab facility, friends would bring him to the center so he could maintain his routine. After rehab, Mrs. G could no longer drive, so Rover brought them both to the center. She called us shortly after the stay-at-home order was issued, worried about food. Now, she's comfortable, grateful when we deliver meals and produce. This is just an example of the many people who have come through the doors of the center for the past 41 years. During normal operating conditions, we're open weekdays with a wide variety of activities to stimulate the mind and body: exercise, art, music, dance. Last year, we began our evening programming, our famous Second Thursdays, to meet the needs of working seniors. We help with social services, Medicare, Social Security information, senior housing operations, rent rebates, and tax preparation, to name a few. A common misconception is that the Senior Center meals are for people in financial need. From the news reports, you're well aware that our participants, over 60, and many with chronic conditions, are the most vulnerable to COVID-19. We're distributing food drive-through style to keep people out of the stores and safe at home. According to a Pennsylvania Council on Aging COVID survey, the number one reason seniors leave the house is for groceries. We'd like to change that. March 16, we implemented our plan to distribute food. The first day we provided meals to 15, by the end of that week 50, the next week 90, and by mid-April almost 270 people were picking up food of some form at the center. In the first 5 weeks, we provided over 4,300 lunches and breakfasts. In the Phoenixville area, over 375 seniors reside in 6 affordable senior housing complexes. We immediately advocated with Chester County Department of Aging to make sure these people were included in the meal plans. April 9th, local Pennsylvania Army National Guard trucks delivered FEMA meal sets for our participants and the housing complex residents. We distributed over 6,200 FEMA meals the next week. To encourage seniors to stay home, we now provide milk, eggs, and bread. The hope is that if you have these 3 staples, you can work with what's in your pantry and you won't feel the urgency to go to the store. Think snowstorms without the snow. However, we need your assistance to finance this. Our food costs have more than quadrupled in the past month, and we expect them to continue to grow over the coming months. Our second priority is combating isolation. 200 of our 1,300 annual participants live alone. Staff enlisted volunteers to make reassurance calls on a regular basis. It's well documented that isolation and being alone are a health risk for retired people. This crisis is only making those feelings of isolation worse. We have an active Facebook and website presence with links to services and activities. However, these don't help our seniors who do not have access to the internet and are usually our older, more vulnerable seniors. So we added a robocall system to communicate better. We're very, very excited about a new initiative utilizing local cable access television channels to air some of our programs, hoping a familiar exercise instructor, the art teacher, and cooking classes, for example, will help people be more comfortable, and to get information out to everyone in the community. It may be months until we can expect to resume normal day-to-day operations, and like you, we're unsure what the new normal will look like. We'll use your donations to provide breakfast, eggs, bread, and milk, and to reach people by non-traditional means: TV public access, Zoom virtual conferencing, as well as our traditional online methods and newsletters. Please feel free to share our information with friends, family, and neighbors who may need help with food, medications, and isolation. They're not alone. We're in this together. Thank you for your consideration.